Hey guys, how's it going? Professor Shuckle here, your coach of the Dark Cave Dark Rise. Today, I'm back with my week 2 battle for the Hive Kakuna Season 8. If you watched our week 1 battle, we took an unfortunate loss in a really close and fun game, like a 1-0 loss to Coach Yodler. It was a super fun game, so you should definitely check it out. Hive is supposed to be one of the top premier draft leagues out there, so the quality of battles is obviously a little higher, and because everyone preps and mocks, so obviously build everyone's input is a lot of people's input goes into the team, so the builds and plays are obviously well thought out and planned, so that's pretty cool. For week 2, we're actually up against the Pittsburgh Celesteela in Coach Paralyzer. So we're looking to get back on track and get our first win of the season, because obviously we don't want to start 0-2. But before I go into the matchup, I released a power ranking video for the APA Legacy tournament with my good friend Skyhorse, and we actually got to 50 subs. So yeah, it's a very big achievement for me. So thank you everyone who supports and watches my content. I appreciate you all. And since I promised this, huge shout out to Yeezy, who was the 50th sub actually. So yeah, huge shout out to him. And without much further ado, let's jump into the matchup. Our opponent has a team of... Sorry, that's not the right matchup. This is the right matchup. Our opponent has a team of Garchomp, Ferrothorn, Mega Mawile, Crobat, Vaporeon, Heracross, Spiritomb, Rotom Heat, Zoroark, Meloetta, and Dodrio. So just some initial thoughts on the matchup. Garchomp is really good versus my team, like Dragon Grounds, because I do have a Leafeon, but Leafeon's kind of awful this matchup. There's a Heracross, Mega Mawile, Crobat, Rotom Heat, and Veradar. So unless I run Sunny Day Weather Ball, I'm not doing much this matchup. And so Garchomp's really scary. Life Orb Garchomp basically claims a kill every time versus my team. So yeah, super scary. Ferrothorn's really good versus my team as well, because it can set up spikes and be super annoying. Although they may not want to stack hazards with Core Chain Cinderace, so that's always a good thing. And Garchomp's a pretty good Cinderace switch-in as well, so that's really cool. Rotom Heat, if you watch their week 1 battle, we actually struggled a lot with Rotom Wash because a lot of our mons have very high HP stats. So Rotom Heat can easily, even if I knock off its boots, can easily keep itself healthy with Pain Split, especially with Wish support in the back from Vaporeon. Zoroark's really scary as well because he can disguise himself as Garchomp or Mega Mawile, and obviously that's harder to play around because you don't know if it's Zoroark or Garchomp, because the responses are hugely different. Heracross as well, pretty solid versus my team. Crobat was actually super annoying as well, for sure. Mega Gallade actually goes in versus his team. To be fair, Mega Gallade destroys his team other than Spiritomb. So I expected Spiritomb to come, which kind of hardwalls Gallade, but which lets in Clefable. So it's like a cycle of who manages their health, HP stats better on their bulky mons, basically. Because once things are in range with Gallade, it's really tough for him, for sure. So Meloetta could also have been a threat, but I wasn't sure if he would have space to fit it because his other mons were just so good. So let's just go into the team builder. So first up, I have Mega Gallade. As I said, outside of Spiritomb, he doesn't really have much for it. So we're running Mega Gallade, Jolly with enough speed to creep Zoroark, I believe. Yeah, Zoroark is 1 of 5, right? So it's faster than Chomp. Yeah. So we're creeping Zoroark with our Mega Gallade, some bulk, and then the rest in attack. Pretty standard Mega Gallade set. We're running knockoff, Ice Punch, Close Combat, and last we're running Teleport. So the Teleport is only if my Mega Gallade has to come in early, and yeah, and they bring Spiritomb, then I can actually just like teleport, get the slow initiative switch out straight into Clefable on the Spiritomb. So that's the plan. I didn't really think I needed psychic coverage again because close combat hits everything, and then Ice Punch hits the Garchomp and the Crobat, hits like the Heracross as well. And Heracross doesn't really switch into CC that well anyway, even though it resisted because its bulk is not that great. And Knock is always just good to get rid of items and stuff. So yeah, like get rid of berries or heavy duty boots. So yeah, also gets rid of like leftovers on Spiritomb, but I don't actually want to knock Spiritomb with Gallade. That's why I have Teleport. Yeah. Next up we have Clefable with leftovers, and we're running physically defensive and some speed just to catch a no creeping, like a Mega Mobile that is just trying to creep a Clef. So we're in knockoff because the coverage moves I chose, Moonblast and Flamethrower, are kind of don't do a lot of damage to Rotom, Heat, and Crobat. So I want to get rid of the boots so I can pressure them with rocks. And we're running Soft Boil so we can stay healthy, leftovers so we get that passive recovery. Initially, I wanted to be Calm Mind Life Orb, which I thought was really good in this matchup. But to make sure that Clef could actually put in work, I would have to be faster than Mega Mobile. So the speed creep was not worth it, and if I made my Clef offensive, then Garchomp kind of ran through my team. So just the fear of Garchomp made me go back to a physically defensive set. So yeah, and also because I was struggling with coverage to hit Rotom, Heat, and Crobat. And if Crobat was like physical cross poison, it would do a lot to me. So yeah, I just basically was like, yeah, okay, we should make it physically bulky. So yeah, that's the Clefable. Next up, we have Weezing with Rocky Helmet and Neutralizing Gas. Neutralizing Gas basically cancels out Mega Mobile's huge power. So it just goes back to base 105 attack, doesn't get the double in base power boost. And then we can actually take on Mega Mobile really, really well. We obviously resist Play Rough, which is good. And I think like Psychic Fang does like 35% from Mega Mobile to us. So we'll like so they would take like 3 rounds of Rocky Helmet Chip, and I believe if they take 2 rounds of Rocky Helmet Chip, even if they're bulky, they should be in Mega Gallade range with CC. So and that we can definitely get with Weezing. And we're running, yeah, so max HP, max defense. This can also check Guts Heracross pretty well. So yeah, like it's just to check the bulky, like the defensive, the physically offensive threats. Also, having it in the back may force Garchomp to think about what move to click, because obviously because we don't have a ground resist on our team otherwise, so I only want to bring this out when Mega Mobile is in, and try to set up the T-Spike so that if Garchomp comes, it gets poisoned and then we can chip it down easier. Sludge Bomb is just good stab, hits the Rotom Heat, hits the Vaporeon, hits like the Zoroark Heracross. Flamethrower is for the Ferrothorn and Mega Mobile and does good chip to them. And Pain Split is just to recover up and get health back on like the Vaporeon and stuff, which shouldn't be able to do too much damage if it's not invested. So yeah, that's the set. Next up, we have also, because they don't have a grounded poison, so poison is actually good versus Vaporeon, Garchomp, weighing them down easier. It also helps me figure out, rocks help me figure out on Zoroark, so more on that later. Next up, we have Kyurem with Choice Scarf. I needed something faster than like if Gallade died, I needed something faster than Chomp and like Scarf Heracross and faster than Crobat. So I went with Scarf Kyurem this week because I was debating. It's the same scenario as week 1 where I was debating which of between Kyurem and Obstagoon who to Scarf, and I thought Kyurem was a better Scarfer this match. So I'm running Freeze Dry, Dragon Pulse, and Earth Power with like the special coverage. Enough speed is for Meloetta. Yeah, and yeah, basically it's pretty standard type. Freeze Dry hits the Vaporeon. It doesn't really have the best ice resist. Like here's to predict what I'm gonna lock into. And if you see Icicle Spear, this is just in case the Garchomp is sub, like a sub Salic or something, because I don't have priority on my team other than Sucker Punch Cinderace. So yeah, Icicle Spear, even with negative attack, does kill a regular Garchomp if I get 3 hits, like for sure. And like, yeah, even through Yachi, because yeah, they'll hit multiple times. So that's literally the only reason for Garchomp. And maybe if it's a lead, I might actually click Icicle Spear because yeah, like if it's a lead Kyurem versus lead Garchomp situation, this might could be my lead, but I mostly wanted to lead Rhyperior, but we'll get to that when I cover that. 40 HP also lets it live hits a little better because its HP stat is so high. Next up we have Obstagoon with the Flame Orb. So we are like the Stall Breaker set, which to punish the Vaporeon, and yeah, we got obviously with Flame Orb, and we enough speed for Meloetta as well, because when I was marking PGP for like a Meloetta and a Meloetta swept me, I was like, okay, I have to respect this mon even though it doesn't show up as often. So yeah, I want to make sure Meloetta dies. So yeah, and then just max attack and like some HP, like the HP was just the odd HP number. We're running Facade, which is Guts boosted as well as Stab, so it hits really hard. Obviously 140 base power times Guts times Stab, which is really cool. Knockoff, which also is really good with Stab, and then Guts boosted as well. Fire Punch is for the Mega Mawile and Ferrothorn. Does good damage to them, and then also hits Spiritomb harder once we knock off its item. And Taunt is set so that the Spiritomb cannot Pain Split us or cannot be Restock, because Spiritomb should not be able to touch us at all. Like Foul Play won't do a lot of damage because we're burned, and we're actually getting the Guts boost, not the attack boost. So yeah. So also I want to knock off the Spiritomb with Obstagoon if possible, not with Gallade, because this knockoff hurts more. Yeah, basically, yeah, this is the Obstagoon set. We can also taunt the Vaporeon from Wishing, which is really cool. And yeah, this basically just helps break his team and like get us chip on things we need. And last we have Rhyperior with Shuka Berry and Solid Rock, obviously, to reduce the damage from super effective hits. Super bulky as well. This spread helps me live a Life Orb Earthquake with Shuka Berry intact into Earthquake from Garchomp. That was the spread. And the rest I just put in Spadaf. And we're running Stealth Rock 3 attacks. Rocks are really important, especially if I see a Zoroark, because we need to know if it's Garchomp or Mega Mawile or Zoroark, because Garchomp and Mega Mawile will only take 6% from rocks on entry, but Zoroark will take 12%, so that's super important to note, and I have to pay attention to that if it comes. Rocks are also good for Rotom Heat and Crobat if I can knock them off, for sure. Also good with Vaporeon, like it helps with some rolls if Vaporeon's leftovers are knocked off and it's taking Rock's chip. Earthquake, which still did like 50 to 60 to Garchomp, so I didn't really think I needed Ice Punch, even though Garchomp was scary, since it got to it KO'd anyway. Fire Punch is for the Ferrothorn. It's stronger than Heat Crash because Ferrothorn's heavy. It also hits the Mega Mawile on the switch if we need it, and Stone Edge is the choice of move to hit Vaporeon harder on the switch if it switches into that. Hits the Heracross, hits the Rotom Heat obviously really hard. So yeah. So without much further ado, let's jump into the match. As you can see, our opponent brought a team of Garchomp, Zoroark, Rotom Heat, Mega Mawile, Vaporeon, and Crobat. So mostly what I expected, I definitely expected the Ferrothorn. So I would have probably put the Ferrothorn over Zoroark. So seeing the Zoroark and no Ferrothorn was like, okay, that's cool. That's a little nicer for me to break down his team. But obviously Zoroark's a huge threat because it could be disguised as Mega Mawile and Garchomp. And initially I was going to lead Rhyperior. But if he let Zoroark disguised as whatever, and he clicked Grass Knot and he was Life Orb, I died. So I decided my best lead was Kyurem here because he brought no no Ferrothorn. His only switch-ins to Kyurem is like Rotom Heat, which still takes a ton from Draco Meteor. Yeah, or Mega Mawile, which resists both the stabs. So I was like, and if he goes Mega Mawile, I get Wheezing and I can get my Toxic Spikes up early. So I decided to just lead Kyurem, as I thought he led Crobat, so I was like, okay, I can just freeze dry here, right? It's Crobat. I'm Scarf. I will reveal I'm Scarf, but like, that doesn't hurt me in any way because like Kyurem's matchup's really good. Like he struggles to switch into this anyway. So I decided to just click freeze dry as he actually clicks U-turn. So I was like, oh, he's Scarf Crobat, which was like, I was like, okay. Interesting. I thought it would be Boots for not taking Rock's chip, but I was like, okay, Scarf Crobat makes sense. As he goes Rotom Heat and takes like nothing from this freeze dry. And he actually reveals leftovers, so I was like, okay. If I get up Rocks, which I should be able to as I go Rhyperior, and I knock off its leftovers, this thing should be super easy to wear down, even though they have Wish support. So I go hard Rhyperior as they click Wisp and Miss, which is really unfortunate for my opponent for sure. They would have gotten chip on this and figured out, no, actually they wouldn't have known if it was leftovers, but maybe they could have clicked, they could have gone Vaporeon right away on this, or they could have clicked Hex if they had that maybe. But yeah, I was staying in here anyway to click Rocks if they click Wisp again. Although in the end I think it didn't matter too much because basically missing Wisp and then just staying in gave them that extra leftovers recovery, so they're now back to full. Here I click Stone Edge because as I said, I don't really switch into Rotom Heat, and Rotom Heat can't do anything to me. So I click Stone Edge, they go Vaporeon and only take 21%, showing the physically bulky, which is what I expected. And here I actually went Clefable first, as they double into Rotom Heat, which I guess is a good play by them. I don't really want to take... Oh, I decided to stay in and click Knock, because they showed Will-O-Wisp. In my head, I was thinking it was Will-O-Wisp, Volt Switch, Overheat, Pain Split. So I just wanted to knock off its leftovers. But they actually showed Nasty Plot, and I was like, oh, okay, this could be scary if they are Hex. And so I go into Rhyperior as they click Overheat and Miss, which is again super unfortunate for my opponent. Wouldn't have done a lot, but maybe if they had Hex, it might have like, I don't know how much Hex would have done. I didn't really calculate, but like damage on this would have been nice because I don't actually have Wish Protect. But anyway, I click Stone Edge again because of the Rotom Heat, and as he goes into Garchomp this time, and yeah, I go hard Clefable because if he set up on a burnt Rhyperior, like I had to go hard Clefable and stop him from SDing twice basically, or like subbing. So I go hard Clefable as he clicks Rock. I decided to click Moonblast as he goes Vaporeon, which is getting chipped down as you can see. Unfortunately, Moonblast is not a 2 KO on this, so I decided to actually click Knock, expecting the Wish, because if I click Knock, the lefties are gone at least. As he does click Wish, but because like I was out of range, I knew he was not gonna click Protect, so I didn't want to go into Obstagoon and necessarily take damage. So I decided to just click Moonblast. As he clicks Call In, does good amount of damage. So I was like, okay, I seriously underestimated this thing's damage output. But I decided to soft boil it really quickly, expecting another Wish because I need to be healthy for Garchomp. So he clicks Wish as expected, and I click Moonblast here now as he goes into Rotom and brings it back to full, which is super annoying, obviously. And yeah, he doubles into Vaporeon, expecting the Rhyperior, which is a good play by him, because basically I just took 12% damage for nothing, even though he took 12% damage as well. Here I expected the Wish, so I made the aggressive play going Obstagoon, because I was like, you're not clicking Scald, you know I'm going to switch my Rhyperior out, you're going to click Wish, because if you click Scald and you kill the Rhyperior, your Vaporeon's almost gone, like everything else on my team will kill it on a switch in. So I go Obstagoon as he does click Wish, and here I decided to click Facade. Even if he protected, like, I was fine with it. I could have clicked, yeah. As they go Crobat and take 94, but they revealed Boots. So I was like, but they showed U-turn. So I was like, oh, I see you. This was Zoroark. And the lead was Zoroark disguised as Crobat, and it is Scarf Zoroark, which he doesn't know that I'm Scarf Kyurem because he was Scarf himself. So I was like, okay, that's cool to know. That's good to know that was disguised as Crobat, which is honestly a little nicer than disguised as like Mega Mobile or Garchomp. So he lives the Facade at 6% health. I don't know if it was a roll or not. But if he EV'd it for this scenario, like, good job EV. Anyway, I switch back into Rapier. I don't want to take damage on Obstagoon, which still breaks his team really well. He clicks Brave Bird, trying to get chip on the Obstagoon, which obviously like goes in really hard. So I can go Rapier. I click Stone Edge as he does decide to stand and click Roost. I connect and I get a crit. So obviously I've been a little lucky this game. So yeah, again, I'm really sorry to my opponent. Yeah, anyway, this turn I decided to click Roost. I'm not sure if I crit if they would have roosted or not. So yeah, obviously with the crit they probably wanted to roost, so Earthquake was a little easier to make there. And here I clicked Earthquake again, I believe, because I wanted to keep the Crobat low. As they go Vaporeon, and again, it's getting super chipped because its leftovers are gone. And I know it's gonna click Wish, so I actually decided to just click Earthquake and take it out. Like, either he kills me, and then everything else on my team kills him, and he dies on Rock Sentry the next time, or he clicks Wish. So I was like, I'm just staying in and taking it out. My Rapier is almost dead anyway. And in comes the Garchomp, which is scary because this could set up now. But since I was burned, I was gonna die next turn anyway. And if he shows to be set up, I could go Garchomp or Kyurem and click my Ice move. So yeah, I decided to just click Earthquake here because he cannot set up twice on me now because I'm gonna die. As he actually just clicks Earthquake. Again, now I don't know what this Garchomp is, so I decided to just go Clef, which should be able to eat any hit. And he clicks Earthquake into 62%. So I was like, oh, this is banded as hell, which is a good bring because my team is super weak to Garchomp. So really nice bring by him. I click Moonblast and do not do enough damage. And at this point, I don't have a switch to Earthquake. I need Weezing for the Mega Mobile. I need Kyurem as my speed control and to beat Crobat. Obstagoon's really good at revenging. Actually, at breaking his team. Like, he kills the Rotom Heat. Yeah, and Mega Glade is obviously really good. So I was like, okay, unfortunately, I have to sack Clefable here, even though I lose a Zoroark check. But he actually scouts for the Weezing play and goes Rotom Heat, which works out really well for me because I can save my Clefable for Zoroark. So yeah, I decided to go straight back into Kyurem, revealing I'm not Boots, as he actually clicks Overheat and misses again, which is really unfortunate for my opponent for sure. Like, I hexed him really bad. This one I'm not sure if it mattered because, like, if he hit I wouldn't have been able to switch in again, which is like for sure. But I was gonna click Dragon Pulse here no matter what, and if the mobile comes in, I have my Weezing play, so it might have mattered. And in the end, I would have used Kyurem as a sack probably, but to get in like Obstagoon or Gallade safely. But yeah, obviously sucks for my opponent for sure. Yeah, anyway, I think I believe I clicked Dragon Pulse. Yeah, I clicked Dragon Pulse as they stack Crobat to my Kyurem. And then they go hard Mobile, which is fine, because basically I believe that's what the interaction would have happened even if Overheat happened. So, and basically I would have a Kyurem sack at the end. And yeah. Anyway, I go hard Weezing as they go Mobile. I know they're going to Mega Evolve. And they click Iron Head, and CQT only does 26%. So Weezing is a GOAT. That is Mega Mobile, one of the most threatening like breakers in the format, and Weezing just took 26% from it. I decided to click hard Toxic Spikes here rather than Sludge Bomb or Flamethrower, just because if you went Garchomp, since I knew it was banned, yeah, since I knew it was banded, it was a little easier to play with because Gallade killed it, and since I still had the extra Kyurem switch now, I wasn't too worried about that. And I thought getting the T-Spikes was nicer, so I could poison the Zoroark just in case, or like for a roll or something. But they go hard Zoroark, and I go hard Obstagoon here actually, because in my head, they were not clicking Focus Blast there, and actually the U-turn damage showed it was the negative like attack, So it was max special attack Scarf, max like speed creeping Zorak probably. So in my head it was like they're either clicking extra sentry to take out the Obstagoon, to take out the Weezing in one hit, Sludge Bomb, or Dark Pulse, right? So in my head I was like, I think they would have needed Focus Blast. So Focus Blast, Dark Pulse, U-turn, and like whatever coverage they could have run Sludge Bomb or extra sentry. So based on that, for Weezing they would either click Dark Pulse or like something else. So I decided to go Obstagoon as they actually click Trick, which works out really well for me because I already got burned, so I don't care about my item anymore. I still have Guts boosted, and I'm burnt, Guts boosted, and I have a speed boost. So yeah, that worked out for me as the click Trick. So I can click Facade now, and I actually don't mind the double Scarf because I'm faster than everything now. So yeah, they go Mega Mobile again. I obviously don't kill this, and obviously now Obstagoon wins. So I go Weezing again. As the click Player off, which is good because that means they take another run Rocky Helmet chip when they kill me. But they click Iron Head, so they didn't have Psychic Fangs, which means they have to take yet another round of Rocky Helmet. I click Sludge Bomb because I thought the Rotom Heat was going to come in, but they just stayed in and killed me with the Iron Head, which is fine because all that Rocky Helmet chip means Obstagoon kills with Facade. I don't really care for Psycho Punch because I'm Dark type and I resist it. As you can see, I only did 21%. As I click Facade and I kill it. And here I think they made a misplay by going Rotom Heat first because if they went Garchomp, I basically would have lost this right away. So they could have saved a differential point actually. But yeah, I click Facade and Rotom Heat's gone. And the last one's Garchomp, but Facade will pick it off as well, but I will die to the Rough Skin. Oh, so actually, yeah, it didn't matter because, yeah, it would be the same differential. So obviously that Overheat miss on Kyurem was bad because it might have gained him another differential for sure. If he stayed in with Garchomp, he would have gotten rid of Clef as well, so that would have been like, yeah, again, it would have been super tight, but obviously Mega Gallade beat the Mega Mobile, beat the Garchomp, beat the Rotom Heat. So, and like obviously it hasn't come out and hasn't taken a hit, so, and it could definitely live any one hit from all of them. So yeah, I'm not sure based on how the game went if that hacks mattered. Obviously it sucked from my opponent, then I could have tilted him, so obviously I'm really sorry. I wish it was a clean game. Yeah, but because there was no Scarf other than Zoroark, and yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like Gallade still won, but I could be wrong. Obviously, if he thinks there was a... We didn't talk after the match, so I don't know like if there was a way he won, but yeah, I still think this was a fun game. Obviously, they had like huge threats in Garchomp and like Rotom Heat and Mega Maw, but we had like pretty solid prep, obviously. Again, Sky and Low QP, who returned from the dead, helped me build a little like fix the set. Like initially, the Rhyperior was Rotom Fan, just so like Garchomp couldn't click Earthquake, but Life Orb Dragon Claw did like 60% to my set. So in the end, we decided Rhyperior was nicer to give us a Rotom Heat pivot as well as get up rocks. While still dealing with Crobat, because I initially had Rotom Fan to deal with stupid Crobat. I didn't know how to beat it. And since I love pivoting, so I thought Volt Switch was really cool. But yeah, Rhyperior was fine. So yeah, that's our week 2 game, and we are now 1-1 plus 2. And I believe we catapulted all the way back up to like 6th place and in the playoff spot, so which is nice. And hopefully we can keep up with this momentum and win our week 3 game as well, which should come up next week, obviously. Yeah, I was a little late with my week 1 upload, but I should be back on track with week 2. So yeah, that's it from me. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.